going to war.
Hey guys, Stay Patient here with a quick rundown on how you guys can go about reaching the new maximum light level of 335 in Destiny since the new update. Now you may have noticed people running around the tower that are already 335, and it's not really a long process to be able to reach there. That's because Bungie have made some changes with the way leveling works. Now in the past, when you were taking part in things like the raid and other endgame activities, you would just have to have your fingers crossed that you might receive something that is 320 light. But the way the level of your received gear works now is that it's based on what your current character level is. So we are currently level 325, so when we receive legendary pieces of armor or weapons from endgame content, those pieces will always be slightly higher than 325. Now they can vary slightly, of course. When I was level 318, I was receiving gear between level 320 and 323. And now I'm level 325, I've started receiving gear up to around 330. You'll notice that I've infused a couple of my weapons up to 330 here, the Touch of Malice and the Hung Jury. Now that makes a lot more sense really, because it means that those people who don't have tons and tons of time to play the game and just hope and pray that they receive a high level item, those people can still reach the top level simply by playing the endgame content enough times. Now what you can do is play the raid now, which they've made some changes to. In the King's Fall raid, especially on hard, the raid itself is exactly the same, but you can now receive higher level items from it. Now because the gear you receive is based on what current light level you are, when you're doing things like the raid, if you do receive something that's higher light level, you want to either start using it or infuse it into what you are using so that it boosts your light level up a bit, and that means that you will be a higher level when you receive the next reward. So when you beat the second boss, you'll be slightly higher and you'll receive a higher item again, and it will slowly incrementally increase your level bit by bit. Now with the new way that infusion works, of course now you get 100% of the infused items level. So for instance, if I was to put the 330 Hung Jury into the 284 Fabian strategy, that strategy would be 330. It boosts it right up to the level of the item that's infused into it. So when you're receiving all of that infusion fodder from the raid, weapons and things such as this Harrowed Silence of Aeon, I would stick that straight into whichever gun I was using in the raid so that I wouldn't lose out any of those light points, and it would help me boost up my level bit by bit so that each reward I receive will be higher level than the last one. Now that's one activity that's worth taking part in, the raid, as we've mentioned, but when you start here in the Reef, when you first load up the game, you'll have a mission at Petra, but you'll also have a mission here with Oryx. Now he will tell you to go and complete the level 41 Prison of Elders, which is very easy, and you can do that through matchmaking. You don't need to find any friends necessarily to play it with, but once you've done that, he'll give you a second mission for completing the level 42 Challenge of the Elders. Now we've got some videos on this channel of playing through that Challenge of the Elders. When you take that mission from him, you want to make sure that you also take the Elders Sigil. Now the Elders Sigil, as you can see, I actually have one in my inventory, so we'll take a look at it. When we do the Challenge of the Elders, we want to try and get 30,000 points in one game and 90,000 points across several games. So once you receive the high score, you'll receive a weapon from Oryx. Once you achieve the cumulative score, you'll receive a piece of armor. And in the same way as with all the other rewards, those pieces that you receive will be slightly higher than your current light level. So make sure you have your highest level items equipped when you hand the Elder Sigil in. And you can hand it in with just one of these things complete. You know, you don't need the high score and the cumulative score at the same time. You can go and get the weapon once you've got the high score, and then once you've got the cumulative score, you can also go and get the piece of armor. Now, of course, when it comes to things like engrams and reputation packages, those don't necessarily give you high level pieces, but if you get a legendary piece of armor or a weapon, there is a chance that it could be high level. But for the most part, it's things like the Prison of Elders and the Challenge of Elders, the raid itself that give you decent gear, obviously the PvP content, which no one has any experience with just yet, since we haven't had a Trials of Osiris or an Iron Banner since the update just yet, but they're very likely to work in exactly the same way, where you get slightly higher pieces of gear than your current light level. The other piece of content or activity that is worth taking part in is the Court of Oryx. So if you do the antiquated runes on the Court of Oryx, then the rewards from that behave the same as with the other endgame content, where you'll start receiving pieces of armor and weapons that are slightly higher than your current level. So I hope that makes sense, guys. It's a nice easy way of leveling up now. There's a lot less RNG involved, so hopefully you guys who don't have as much time to spend on the game can go about reaching max level as well as the rest of us. So good luck with your attempts to do so, guys. Enjoy the Challenge of the Elders. Check out the videos that I have on the channel of us completing the Challenge of the Elders, as well as myself completing it solo for the first time. Enjoy that content. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all soon.